basically an AMM. Most of the time, I think that you have to have a single wallet that provides those liquidity, both sides of liquidity in exchange for those tokens, and then they stake them forever. But I guess it just comes down to like who controls the wallet. Yeah, maybe Chewy, you know a little bit more about it, but
It's about specifically the laser tag, or
we're
hey,
talking
Juanca.
about joint liquidity, like creating like a maybe like a going in with Give or with Bright ID or Gnosis and having like creating liquidity between the tokens. You have to have a shared wallet in order to do that, right? Or can you provide one side of a token each?
I think it is. I think like from a multisig, the only thing is that I mean I don't know if this is in the front end, but yeah, it's pretty much like setting up the contract from the multisig to be the liquidity provider, as far as I know. So pretty much like any interaction around that pool is in the hands of the multisig, but it has to be manually configured to have that interaction. So I'm not sure if there's an option in Safe for creating a vote that provides liquidity. I think it's like installing a bonding curve in Gardens. It's just like a backend thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so if you weren't here yesterday, I screwed up and got my dates mixed up, and so we did the Stewards Council yesterday when we were supposed to do the TEC Stewards Weekly, and so now today we're going to do the Stewards Weekly, and I hope that's okay with everyone. Yeah, my apologies for that. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started since we're 5 after. So just Chewy, Wonka, Zepti, and Nate. All right. So let's go ahead and do temperature check. Anybody want to start off?
I can take it.
Okay.
Temperature check. I don't know. Like I'm just I'm just coming back today. It seems that we are, especially after the super intense weeks that we have, it seems like we are in a lower temperature zone. Maybe it's more because of like the reference that we created being like so intense and into it. But I also feel that it's a great time for the TEC because I mean, comparing like Paris to Denver, so many people have heard about us and about gravity and about so many things. So it's even though we might be like taking a break or in a cold zone, I feel so motivated for getting to experience um, the results of the hard work of the community. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. I'll pass it to Juanca.
Yeah, for me, it has been also very interesting weeks. Like we started the practice groups on gravity. Also, the proposal in the gardens every time receives more support, and I think right now we are close to passing it. Also, I think it's very interesting what is happening in the world, like what happened today between Russia and Ukraine. It also makes me think a lot about um, yeah, what we're doing and what is the role that we have um, for the world, because like if we continue repeating those same patterns, we could have like DAO wars in the future. And um, we really should be focusing always in better systems, and not only better systems, but also um, uh, systems used ethically. And yeah, that's why I am so glad to be working on token engineering and to promote and to lead ethics in this field. And besides that, I also miss the other people. I miss Levy, I miss Griff, but it's been also really cool to have like a time for different people to step in. But it would be also good to see their faces again. And yeah, I will pass it to Septi.
Thanks, Juan. Yeah, happy to have you back, Chuy. That's cool. I'm actually excited. Like, I think I've made a proposal on the Gnosis multisig, but they don't have actually enough money. But that one cool dude told me like we can have a meeting and then explore different opinions to do a TEC Gnosis pool, and then when I made that proposal, then people from Bright the One Hive start to also contact with me, and then I'm planning to do a forum post explaining like all the details, and then one thing like it feels not so cool is like I just asked like Bright ID normally how much money they put in those swaps, and then say like 100k, 500k in between this range, and we only have like 273k's as the price of the TEC right now. So I mean, I feel like we are a bit poor in that sense, like to our relations. But I mean, we can also do smaller ones. I feel like no one is going to go against that, and But yeah, I mean, it feels like like we're weak. But I mean, we're not. But it feels. I don't know. Yeah. And what else? Yeah, I mean, I also made a snapshot vote for the transparency around multisigs. Like I'm going to also talk about it in the community call, and it's the vote is starting actually tomorrow. Like I like this cultural things we were doing at the beginning, where we start voting on Friday, so it ends on Monday. Oh, but now it's 4 days, so it's Thursday. Okay, well, it's okay. But we have like the full weekend and then some days after. And yeah, I'll pass it to Durgadas.
Can somebody else go? I'm in the middle of things.
Yeah, and so just to inform everybody that just got here, Vavivi and Durgadas, we are doing our Stewards Weekly today instead of the Stewards Council. Got those switched up on the dates. That is my fault, and I apologize for that. And right now we are doing the temperature check. So pass it on to Viv. You there, Vi? You are unmuted, but I cannot hear you. Okay, I'll go ahead and start. I think the temperature check is really, I think it's interesting to see all the new enthusiasm with new members, which is really exciting. We're getting still getting a lot of people within our onboarding calls. We're still getting a lot of people who are really interested in the TEC. Working on trying to get the onboarding a little bit more tight with it, and Edu's been doing a great job so far. I think it's a very difficult challenge with everybody being in ETH Denver to keep the same schedules, to keep the same consistency throughout. But I think that's something that we need to keep working on. And I think that in general, I'm not exactly sure how much stuff is being dropped with our a lot of our working group stewards being gone, and so that's kind of concerning. I would like to see what did get dropped and what didn't, and see how we can improve in terms of people stepping up. Outside of that, yeah, I think temperature check is pretty good. pretty slow, but it's getting better. So I will pass it over to Durgadas if you have anything you want to add for temperature check.
Yeah, I'm just myself incredibly busy at the moment, so I feel like I'm gonna want to try to optimize somehow my involvement, just because I've got.
I am hearing you very, very low volume. I don't know if it's me.
Oh, it's weird.
You're trying to optimize your time. That's what I heard.
Sorry.
Let's check here.
Yeah, it might be another microphone, maybe.
Better.
No, is it your headset microphone? Because it doesn't sound like that close.
Oh, weird.
Huh.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
How about now? No? Anything?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, sorry about that. That's a little weird.
Yeah,
good. I was just saying that yeah, I'm just getting really busy, and I've had a bunch of personal drama over here, and I've got it's been offered that I could maybe go to South by Southwest, so 40 Acres Dow is gonna pay for my trip there and everything, so I'm thinking about going. So I'm gonna be a little bit maybe less in attendance here than I have been normally, or trying to consciously, pull back a little bit, just so that I can sort out all the stuff I have going on. So, I just need to.
When is South by Southwest happening, Durgadas?
Well, the whole thing is like 11th to the 20th of next month, but the 40 Acres Dow is got a plan for being there from the 17th to the 20th. So, so I guess the travel day is the 15th. I still need to ask for time off from work and stuff, but yeah, it's yeah, I'm still a little bit on the fence about whether I should go. Traveling and COVID is still around, so I'm just not sure. So still kind of in the decision-making point, but regardless, I'm still got just an awful lot of things on the go, and so I'm being asked to do more and more for more and more people. So yeah, so I'm hoping that a little less involvement here might help to free some psychic space for me to do other things.
And 5IV, are you still there? Yeah, you're unmuted, but I can't hear you. Okay, well, while you figure that out, let's just keep moving on, and then when you get back, let me know. So let's talk about some things this week. Asking more stewards to join the orientation call. Durgadas and myself were there with Edu. If you get a chance to join, it would mean a lot to Edu, especially because we like to have spread the voice out a little bit more just to get people engaged. And so I just want to make sure everybody keeps that on their radar for each week. If you have problem, who can't make it to that orientation call, just in consistently.
I usually can make it, but these past few weeks I've gotten calls booked right at the same time. But yeah, it's a matter of just taking care more of that spot for the next week. Yeah, I would be happy to support Edu in this.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we don't need to like change the time or anything like that, just to accommodate a little bit more participation in these calls, because it is really important. And I think people would get really excited and engaged with new members, especially because it is really exciting to see all that engagement and people who are really interested. So let's go ahead and check on the One Hive Gardens. Do we have outreach for a lot of these, Chewy? I know that we got into a little hairy situation about supporting them, but do we have rules on like promoting active votes, or just acknowledging that we have active votes?
Yeah, as far as I know, like in the soft call, we said like it's fine to say, all these votes are going on, but it's weird when we say let's vote on the stewards or let's vote on transparency or stuff like that. But if you just present all of them and say, yeah, these are the actual votes, go and vote for the one that you like the most.
Okay. And right now we don't have a lot of voting power, do we?
No, outside gravity, not really. It's mostly focused in gravity right now. We've had some issues in the past with like what's the right approach for voting. So yeah, like like what we've had like the most feedback on is about trying to get away from saying take your TEC tokens and back this proposal. Like we can take it two different ways. It's like, remember that you can support our proposals with the TEC token. That's like its own line. And then the other one has worked as this proposal is out. It is important because of this and that. So make sure you check it out. But it's not really like trying to sway like the vote in official platforms.
Yeah. And so, which comes up to the next thing. Do we have all the proposals up to date in Gardens? I mean, like all the working group funding proposals. Like, I know you have a couple. You've broken down into different smaller proposals for the comms and the Team DAO stuff. Is this all of them, or do you still have more to submit?
For more proposals.
Okay.
So these are the first two.
I also received a question coming from Humberto, and he was saying that he wanted to post a proposal that he already made a post in the forum, but he hasn't received like so much feedback. So he was asking like where would be the right place to talk about his proposal. I also thought that maybe we could bring back some of the spotlights for the community calls now that we're receiving more proposals.
Yep. Okay.
I think that's a great idea, like bring back the spotlight, but then maybe we should do like the community call a bit longer. And then, I don't know what I wanted to say. Fuck.
All right, so if we can get people to I'll have to read this. I haven't had a chance to look it over either, but yeah, I'll engage with Umberto's proposal.
Oh, yeah.
And did you already get the transparency working group funding proposal passed, Septi?
Yeah, we even paid contributors, like the Wizards, the Dune Wizards. I wanted to say, like, yeah, what Umberto is, this is a structural problem. Like, Umberto is having a proposal, no one is engaging, and it happens all the time with advice process. Like, I also made transparency stuff. Like, people were telling me, like, we should not do that, public, blah, blah, blah. And then I make an advice process and no one is, no one talks and stuff like that. Like, it feels like people do not like to engage with the forum for some reason.
Yeah. Is there any way we can incentivize new forum engagement? That was on the list today.
Yeah, I mean, source credit. We really need source credit. Like, if people is getting paid, they will you know, they were even told when maybe they don't want to.
I also think that there should be like a more technical approach on the orientation calls, at least and at some point, like 20 minutes or 15 minutes of the call to that technical things, because I think that people is getting the community what we're working on, but maybe they're missing these dirty details about how to interact with the things, and yeah, the orientation, I think it's a good space for that.
So yeah, source cred would improve engagement on the forum, but I also think it's just like I want quality engagement, and hopefully I'm still skeptical about how gamified that's going to be in terms of people trying to game it. But I don't know. Are there any other ways that people have ideas around improving engagement on the forum? I mean, honestly, this is kind of like an individual, like we need to take it upon ourselves to actually look at it and engage on a daily basis if possible. I try my best to, you know, engage on certain topics, but it's very difficult. Yeah, and so the other thing I wanted to talk about was the TEC website and Garden Links. They both still.
I want to say something before we change the topic. Sometimes also, you know, engaging on the forum doesn't mean like you have to give a huge answer. Like just a simple like when you're reading something, it's helped. Like it's saying like, oh, I support this, or show like you don't like it. Maybe you really need to type, right? Like and then you have to say the why, because otherwise it's lame. But at least when you are supporting whatever is on the forum, I think it's, you know, a simple like helps a lot the people who write the post to get signaling what he's suggesting is cool.
Yeah. And I think source cred will have likes associated with it as well, and so we need to get into the practice of actually like appreciating people's posts. But so anybody else have any thoughts on the forum engagement? Okay, so gardens. If I click on here, the wiki, it takes me directly to TEC source rather than the TEC handbook. I'm wondering, who do we talk to about changing that link? Does anybody know? I don't know, Chewy, if you know anybody who can edit those links at the gardens.
Probably Gavi could be the right one.
Okay. Because our website also does the same thing. So I think it started with the website, and then it somebody took that link and just put it on the gardens.
Where does it take you exactly?
So just like gardens, if you click the wiki, it takes you to the TEC source page, which is just fine. It has all of our active documents, but we were wanting it to take you to the handbook. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll follow up on this. Should be pretty easy to do.
So both the TEC website and the gardens link to TEC source, and so we want to change those to the handbook.
For the TEC website, I'll try pinging Casale to see if he can make a pull request. It should also be super easy.
Okay.
There's huge arbitrage, by the way. I just noticed in the gardens page. So how would you guys feel like if we directly promoted this? Like, would it be maybe a little bit like out of line, or how do you feel about this?
I mean, do not promote it on Twitter, but yeah, definitely promote it. I mean, well, it could be nice actually, you know, because it's funding our public goods. I mean, I feel it's cool. Yeah, I feel it's cool.
I don't know. This comes back to the conversation we had yesterday with the Stewards Council topic with Money Talk and the ethics of around our TE convert page. Now, like we can have the disparity between, is this Oracle priced from the liquidity, or is this directly from the Dune Analytics?
I think it's from Dune Analytics. CoinGecko is showing like 219, and I know that it grabs from the HoneySwap feed.
So probably it's from the ABC, okay. Right? Like Dune Analytics have 3 different prices.
So this comes back to the same ethical question, because I do firmly believe that we should have the 22% on our TEC convert page, and this idea that we're just allowing people to go through the process of trying to get wrapped XDAI, get to the XDAI chain, swap on TEC convert, and then never tell them that there's this huge disparity between the Oracle price on CoinGecko, which is what they're expecting, and then the 22% that they're taking out at a higher price on the convert page is something that's going to lead to frustration and lead to people to think that we're shady or other aspects of perception. And so I really do think this is a matter of huge importance. And so I would oppose to say let's promote people to engage in arbitrage before we have that type of disclaimer on the TEC convert page. So those are just my thoughts. I know. Yeah, go ahead.
On the guide, we said maybe I remember it wrong. Like I didn't finalize the talk, but I was there for some moments, and I feel like we were promoting like both, right? Like we were saying, check out the TEC price in HoneySwap, check out the TEC in the converter, and then choose whatever is best, right? Or are we not doing that?
I mean, it's the same result. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna have people who. Because if I want to take advantage of that arbitrage opportunity, is it really arbitrage if they're taking 22% right now? I mean,
still,
I doubt it.
Imagine
if I pay 240 versus 295 with 22% based on the volume of how much I'm purchasing, I might not be getting any type of arbitrage opportunity.
No, but the thing is, like, imagine like in the it's $4 in HoneySwap because someone buys and there is not enough liquidity. Like if someone buys 5K of TC on HoneySwap, the HoneySwap price will be ridiculous high. So then it's an arbitrage opportunity, right? Like then you buy from the bonding curve and sell on the HoneySwap, and then the price will get to the point like it's the same.
Yeah, but then you're just ruining the liquidity and driving the price down on our bonding curve. Yeah, we'll get some volume from the common pool, but like, it's not. I don't know if it's the type of activity we want to have on the bonding curve. I don't know. But for me, it's just there's just too many unknowns there for both the buyer and the seller and people who are going to take advantage of it. So if I wanted to go to HoneySwap and just buy $5,000 worth of HoneySwap, it'll drive the price up on HoneySwap. Cool, and then I could sell it maybe at a higher price. For how long?
But that doesn't look. If you are the one that put the 5K from HoneySwap, you are screwed. Like you lost a lot of money. But I mean, like the people on the other side, like if you put 5K, then I or Chuy or anyone can choose to arbitrage opportunity because look, this price different. Like let's take profit of that, right?
I mean, this is one of those things where it's just like perception is everything. Like if we lose credibility with one person, they tell another person, and it goes around and around and around, and then all of a sudden we have a bad reputation in terms of our economic model, and that's not something that I would be willing to jeopardize. I think it's something that we really need to be above board on all areas of activity, and that includes encouraging arbitrage opportunities. Now, if we had our entry and exit attributes at 3% and we had a huge liquidity within our secondary market, yeah, why not? Let's highlight those arbitrage opportunities. But hopefully then we have kind of people who are already interested in setting up our bots and willing to drive that economic value. But right now we're not there. And I think encouraging it would just lead to bad perceptions. And that's just my opinion. If anybody else has thoughts on that, please speak up.
maybe it's because like we are doing the known, but I feel we explain it like pretty clear, right? Like we know there is an enter and exit tribute in the bounding curve, and then like if I cannot see it with a newcomer eyes because I don't have it, but I feel like I honestly feel like we did our best to explain it, right? Like maybe we could be more explicit on the converter as you were suggesting, but what else could we do? You muted, Nate.
I guess we're just strictly talking about promoting the opportunity for an arbitrage situation, and I just think the gain is not worth the risk. You know what I'm saying? I think that if you're promoting, hey, let's take advantage of this arbitrage opportunity, then they go through this process of getting to the XDAI chain, and then they switch XDAI to wrapped XDAI, and then they go through the process of or going to HoneySwap and buying a bunch of TEC tokens, and they get to the and even if that all works out and they're able to make a little bit of money off of that, that's great. But what do we really gain out of it? And what is the risk of somebody actually going through there, not buying $10,000, putting the volume in to actually make a decent reward from it, and then they just end up coming out about even? Like I just don't see the point. And the opposite direction, if you had the arbitrage in the opposite direction where it was buying from the bonding curve where 22% was your first and then selling it back into HoneySwap, that would be devastating because they would buy 22% and then, oh, holy crap, I'm losing money now because of this supposed arbitrage. This is another thing. If you have thoughts on it, let me know. I just wanted to point that out. I just don't think the risk is worth the reward.
Yeah, when we say like there's arbitrage opportunity, that doesn't mean like someone buys from the DC, raise the price, and then do the arbitrage himself. Like normally it's bots actually, and the same, like like the activity is going, now someone is buying from HoneySwap because there's no fee and it's easier, and then someone is going to the converter, and then maybe there's an arbitrage opportunity that gives you $1, it's just about doing a couple of clicks and getting $1 and doing it during the day, right? But it's not an activity like humans should be doing because they probably will be losing more than winning, as you were saying.
Yeah, and I just don't want to promote anything that would associate them losing. And then them being like, hey, you told me to do this, and all of a sudden I just lost money, and it becomes a reputation thing. So with that being said, does anybody have any check-ins with the reward system? Has anybody participated in the reward system working group enough to check into what's been going on there? Because I haven't been able to get any updates from the reward system group. And I knew we were supposed to have a praise quant sometime coming up, but I haven't heard anything outside of that.
Yeah, me neither. I was like involved, like more with the working group, but I think we've lost track of it like the last couple of weeks. So yeah, I'm not really sure about how the quant process is going.
Yeah, at Denver, everything is slowed down because like Mitch and Libby were carrying so much flags in the working group. And yesterday, actually, like Libby joined back the call. Sadly, I was just the recording, but I couldn't be present. So I don't have any like clear update. But yeah, the last update I have is like at Denver. I heard it a bit.
Yeah, so you were there recording. I saw you in the chat rooms so nobody showed up.
No, I was no. I was on the call and I was telling Christopher I'll be here recording, but I'm leaving. And then when they finished the call, everyone leaves and I was still there recording.
Okay, and yeah. So the last thing that I wanted to cover. Oh yeah, thank you everybody for doing the Steward Statement of Commitment. I think Chewy and Vivi were the last ones to do that, and so thank you for doing that. And we got all of our stewards to put their commitment up. Stewards were going to fund pass, community task pass. That's already done. And I guess the last thing is reviewing the advice process. So this is something that we need to. What? Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to say something on that last topic. And I feel that we should all try to help on that things that are blocking the reward system, because I think it's something that is really also affecting the participation, because people feel like they have been in the community for over 6 months and there have been people who hasn't still received the reward. And also that's something that couldn't promote participation in the gardens, because like it doesn't make sense if we invite people to vote on the gardens but they don't have any TC. So yeah, maybe it would be really good once we regain pace with the stewards to try to make that a priority.
That is a good point. Yeah, because we need to have the people who are especially retroactively. Chewy, did you have people who are retroactively paid already? Has anybody used the work to actually pay out yet?
Not yet, but they are already like taking in their hours from I think February till now, since the proposal was posted. So yeah, I mean they will retroactively get the retroactive bonus and half of February hours.
Okay, and the past funding proposals have already been distributed to the multi-sigs for each of you, right? Or at least transparency and comms.
These are the first proposals that I submit. We already have like a multi-sig set up for this. Actually, Septi is joining them as we post the proposals, so that there are two more deterministic votes within each group from transparency and from stewards. So it's I mean we still haven't deposited funds in any of these safes, but as soon as the T Academy proposal passes, I think that's going to be the first one.
Okay, so the votes have passed on gardens, but it has not automatically distributed to the corresponding wallets. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. Funds will go to the multi-sig, and then from the multi-sig, we will already have the done status in the D-Work platform, so that as soon as we click pay and the multi-sig has the available funds, the transactions will be created so that we can all vote, and as soon as those are approved, people will start getting that in their personal wallets.
And so what's preventing the automatic distribution of the funds from the proposals that have already passed? Is that something that's on the garden side?
There? I mean, I'm talking about comms. Yeah, go ahead, Septi, sorry.
I was a bit distracted, but I know the answer to your question, but could you repeat the question, Nate?
So yeah, we passed the funding proposals within the gardens, and I was under the assumption that these would be automatically distributed to the corresponding wallets associated with that proposal. So the multi-sigs that each working group holds. Has that been done, or is there's something that's blocking the gardens from actually distributing it to those multi-sigs?
Oh no, it's happening. It's happening, and actually every time a multi-sig receives funds, I mean, the ones that are set it up for the Dune, like the ones I have until now. For example, like if you know when the comms passes or gravity, they will act automatically being on Dune, and then when if a new working group or something make new multisigs, we have to have them manually. Everything
so your transparency working group multisig has the funds already in it.
Yeah. And actually, and actually, if you go to Dune Analytics and you put in the multisigs movement dashboard, you say transparency, you will see transparency received from. Well, you will go there. Actually, you will see it better. Like if you go to the chart, and you will see like all the transparency movements with it, all the activity with it with the transparency multisig wallet. You can see it there. Yeah, just scroll down. It's like almost at the end. Oh yeah, this is just a bit up. Yeah, here. Multisig treasury. You see on the search bar, just type there transparency. Below, like if you type transparency, where it says search. Yeah, you can see.
Guys here?
Yeah. So you can see like the first movement with it, we put 2 DAI, then we remove it, then we receive the community funds, then we put some DAI, and then we pay the Dune wizards.
Okay, cool. I was just curious I just wanted to make sure that this was automatically being distributed and that we're not having like an issue with Gardens to actually distribute it from after a past proposal happened.
Oh, no.
Are we having to manually do it or no? It's just automatically, right?
Yeah. Anyone can execute the proposal.
Okay, cool. So I just want to make sure that was clear. Okay, cool. So yeah, I guess once you get it, just distribute it as quickly as possible for those people who are needing retroactive rewards and things of that nature. So the last thing that I wanted to cover was the advice process. I just want to make sure that we have a good understanding of the advice process and how to educate people in our working groups. I think this is really, really vital. I'm working on trying to get some documentation around both decision-making guides and the advice process guide. I believe that this is something that we should start covering at the beginning of our working groups. So our working group calls, just to get into the habit of just saying, hey, you're in charge of making your decision as a contributor. These are the tools that we have available to you to help assist you in making a decision as a contributor. And if you follow these rules, then you're going to come to your own decision. And hopefully that aligns with the rest of the organization. And I just want to like hammer the advice process and the roles that we have in the TEC into everybody who participates within our working groups, because I think it's really important that we get this down. If we don't, we're going to keep having communication problems. We're going to have breakdown and kind of this inter-working group relationships. The more work we have right now, especially, we're starting to see working groups who are interdependent on each other. We have these shared dependencies, and so we're making decisions based on other working groups and what they do. And so, like, we need to make sure that our communication is solid and that we're using the advice process, and everybody in your working groups have a good understanding of both the rules and the advice process and decision-making space. So I just wanted to stress that. Does anybody have any concerns around this or ideas of how to present it in a efficient, small time period? Possibly at the beginning of your working group calls. I know that was a lot, but sorry.
Well, one thing I can say is like this is a very great idea, and I think that would make every contributor empowered, which they really are. So yeah, thanks for pushing that thing, but I don't have anything to add.
Is there anything that I can like build or make that would make this easier to explain, that doesn't take up a huge amount of time at the beginning of your working group calls? That would just be kind of like, hey, this is maybe a graphic or something.
I mean, it'd be nice, like, if we start doing it here on the Stewards, so everyone can see it, then it's easier to replicate on his personal working group for everyone. Like if I see you doing it, then I will do the same Nate is doing.
That's fair. So next weekly agenda for the stewards, I will make sure to actually do a presentation, try to practice it, and see if I can get like a nice, concise 5-minute explanation with the graphics, and see if we can just copy that for each working group, and see if you guys can keep pushing it. Would that be okay?
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Also, Nate, maybe I feel that as you're talking about this, I'm thinking about the funding proposals in the Comms Team DAO, and I feel it's going to be very interesting in the next few months. Probably translations team is going to be the one that goes through that phase first. As soon as the reward system is ready and they get their hands in some TEC tokens, I feel it could be very worth it for them to eventually, if and as part of efforts around decentralization, if every team lead can be following up to their newer funding proposals. So let's say that we're funding the animation team for 5 months now. Let's say that they want to like expand and do that. I feel that they're going to be very, very exposed to the advice process themselves. So it might be a good opportunity to maybe get some feedback for this documentation. You know, it's as soon as the funds start flowing in, it would be great to get a sense of like, hey, what do you think it would take you for, like taking the lead for this the next time we have funds? Like, do you know how the process works? And I feel that perspective can help us a lot do this in a very like easy and understandable way for new contributors.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that's going to be the most important part, is like just having people who are really skilled at kind of just combining these complex concepts into really simple things to understand, whether it be graphics, whether it be a video, whether it be, and just saying, hey, here, watch this 3-minute video just real quick. And before we start going, I think it would save a lot of time and make sure that people have a great understanding of what's been going on. And I know that I talked to Mario Rosa about the reward system video that they're working on currently, which is really exciting. So I look forward to seeing a lot of the animation and video team. I think they would be really good too in terms of documentation and community education. So yeah, let's keep on that. Hi, Metaverde. Sorry I didn't get to say hi before. We're just now wrapping up, but I just wanted to get your temperature check if you're there.
Oh, I'm here. I haven't really paid a lot of attention lately, but it does seem like things are kind of, if there's a reward system that's supposed to be implementing that makes a really big difference in participation. I would definitely say yes to that. And I agree that it's dangerous to promote arbitrage and stuff like that, because partly then you end up promoting the whole DeFi degen thing, and that's not what we're trying to do. And also partly because, I mean, DeFi is just dangerous. And that's all I got. Thank you. Thank you for including me.
Yeah, Metaverde. Sorry I didn't get to you before. Thank you for joining us too. Yeah, so does anybody else have any closing thoughts, topics, ideas, concerns that we want to talk about before we wrap up here?
I have a question. Probably Tam would be the right one, but I just wanted to check, especially around the Stewards group, if there was any further discussion around the last nomination that I posted. So I don't know if the Stewards weekly sync it's the best medium to discuss this, but just wanted to put that on the table and keep it in the radar, because I feel it's going to make a huge impact in communications.
Okay, yeah, let me see. Did you post it into the Telegram?
According to the rules, he should be a steward and get informed. Like the rule says, one person make the suggestion, and then if only one person back it up, which I did, then that's enough. Like if no one is blocking it, that's what the rule says.
Yeah. Well, Do we have a documentation around this process, because this is something that we desperately need to do as quickly as possible.
It's on the Stewards manifesto.
Okay, I will look into that, and I'll create a separate doc just that's dedicated towards the nomination process, and then making sure that we were very clear about it. I'm not sure that, I assume this is in our Telegram channel, and so we can further discuss it there. Because I have no problem with it. Like, as long as the process is being followed, sure, yeah, I think very worthy of it. So, yeah. Did anybody else have anything about that, or? Just make sure that we get documentation.
I mean, I'm pretty sure about the offboarding documentation. I can like specifically remember the onboarding documentation, but there must be something of it if there's an offboarding documentation. So definitely there are like some steps taken.
You know,
yeah, go ahead.
We have a lot of money and we have a lot going on, and if it really feels like there should be a lot more interest generated, and having a good rewards program that's actually implemented will definitely help. And it's better to have a faulty rewards program implemented and tweak it as you go than it is to try to get it perfect before you start it, because people want to get their rewards. And then you never know how it's going to work or how people are going to game it until you actually implement it anyway. But I mean, to be fair, I'm doing all these speedrun challenges that Austin Griffith is hosting, and he's got like all of these rewards in place for as you pass the challenges and stuff. You know, like you pass like 6 challenges, and then you're like in Build Guild, and I've had like a pull request merged into their repo and everything. I mean, it's just like so exciting. There's so many opportunities, and some of the Telegram channels can be dead for like 2 or 3 days. Makes no sense at all. You know, I mean, we're just yep. Niche.
Yeah, and I think the big hold up for a lot of this implementation, I wish I was able to speak to this, but is the backlog of praise quant that they're going through right now. They're just trying to catalog every single piece of praise for the past few months that we've put on hold forever, and so I know that they've got a lot of dashboards and stuff, but I agree with you that we need to get it implemented as soon as possible.
I'll try to get more active in that. I didn't realize that they were actually doing anything right now. I really enjoy Praise Quant. You know, that's something that I think I can help with. So yeah.
Oh yeah, they've got a whole dashboard now where it's really easy to just say, hey, this is this type of praise, and matches duplications, and turning the whole thing automated. It's really amazing what they've built.
All right, I'll try to catch up with them.
They do need to implement it, though. We can. I agree. We can just adjust along the way.
Oh, it's not implemented.
Losing new members.
I mean, that's a lot of us. That's how we got involved in OneHive. A lot of us. I mean, that's how I ended up here. Was just, you know, I got like a few bucks here and there for helping people on the OneHive Discord instead of on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, it's technically implemented. We're just waiting on the praise quant to get caught up with the months and months of praise that they're going through.
Yeah, I can help with that. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. And I would reach out to Chris if you're interested in helping out with it, because he's got a good grasp on everything. So
okay, excellent. Yeah, we are
very close.
We're not making sausage every other Saturday anymore.
Yeah. So we're catching up on 3 months of sausage making. So it's a process, but yeah. Okay. So does anybody else have any thoughts or things they want to add before we wrap up? Okay. Well, just remember to update the community call. Is anybody interested in leading the community call this week, or you?
Griff said he will make it.
Oh, he will. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay. Then yes, just remember to update your slides, and that's all I will say. And